Okay, everybody, here's that chunk of bloodstone that I found in Washington, Skamania County. Nice big chunk. I noticed that it's got a fracture started along the side of this piece here. And it kind of goes along the outside here. So I'm going to see if I can break that piece off. This whole thing is too big to take to a meeting. I've got a meeting tonight down in Salem. And one of the letters of minerals, they have a letter of the night for minerals to bring in. And one of the letters for tonight is H. So since the other name for bloodstone is heliotrope, I am going to see if I can break that piece off and bring just a small piece of this chunk because it is rather big. And I finally got it out of the car with the help of my gorilla cart here. And into the backyard without hurting myself again. So that's a wonderful thing. You can see that fracture right there that started. It's kind of chipped there. So here we go. I'm going to see if I can chip that off. I got my rock hammer here. One of the things about these rock hammers that tip, you can see I hit something when I was starting out down in Florida with the tip. You're not supposed to hit with the tip. It's not hardened and enough to chip at things with the tip. It's only for prying at rocks. So here we go. I'm about to try, give it a few strikes, but I'm going to pause the video here and not record while doing it. Okay, as I was hitting this piece, I noticed it was coming off separately from the piece that was up here. It was a separate fractured area. So I just started giving that chunk up here a whack, a couple of whacks a minute. And you can see the nice red line up here. Red down here. Red going through it. Red there. And it's nice crystallized green. Nice high quality rough. And now I'm going to continue with that piece, because that's already fractured. If I go to slab that, well, I've got fractures going through it there too now. That's a chip that's coming out there. Looks like this is now separating across all sorts of lines here. So might end up with a few pieces here, but it'll be more manageable. I might end up with some to tumble. Which would be nice. Well, there's a nice little piece I could throw in a tumbler. I'm putting all the pieces over here. There's a nice chunk. Just popped off. There's a little piece there that fell out. That piece is loose. It needs a tap. You don't want to hit it rapidly. You just want to tap it every once in a while. And just give it one little firm tap every once in a while, and it won't, you know, cause fractures to shoot off in all different directions. There's another nice piece to put in the tumbler. Probably break that in half first. But I did take pictures of this piece as it was before I started on this, just in case this happened, because I wanted, you know, records of how big it was when I found it. Okay, now back to this piece. Just a gentle tap every once in a while. There we go. That piece just broke off. You can see it's nice and crystallized. You can see the glistening in the sun. That's where the hammer was hitting it. You can see the red running through it. Nice bloodstone. And this piece still has a fracture going along it, but I'm not going to worry about that for now. That can just wait until later. See, that's got a fracture going all the way from there up here. Now these pieces are falling out. There's a chip out of there. I could probably use this. Let's see. And pop those out of there. Yep, there we go. There's those two out of there. I know, I said I'd do it later. What am I doing? I'm taking care of it now. I've been finding a lot of those green stones down there, and if you take a look at this area right here, it's green, but it's grainy. I'm thinking what I've been finding is low-grade bloodstone in sites. I'll see if I can get a better view shot of that. Let's see, is there some on this piece? No, not really. I'll see if I can rotate it to get a better view of some of that. Okay. Now if you look at... Okay, you see the bloodstone here. The high quality replaced material. Then you see this. It's green, but it's like an amalgamation of different rocks. I think that's some of the material I've been finding on some sites. You remember I was finding that at Dry Creek. I was finding those green rocks that were like masses of other rock. I'm thinking that what I was finding was the outside of a bloodstone nodule. Because also I found, while I was there, those small pieces of tumbled red and green, which I thought looked like bloodstone. So that's what I'm thinking. You guys can voice up if you want and share your opinions on that if you want to. But that's what I'm thinking so far with what I see with this big chunk and the outside of it. And how it's kind of put together. You got zones that are granular on the outside that look comprised of different minerals, but they're green. And then you have the green of the bloodstone. That's pretty solid. So, there it is. I've got a nice piece that I can bring to the meeting. Manageable, not too heavy. And actually, I could even slab this up myself. I might fire up the saw and try to do that. I'll need to make a flat face on it first, but that's probably something I might do pretty soon. Look forward to that maybe tomorrow. Well, that's it for tonight. Have a good night. And rock on.